Good morning and welcome to my garden. Hey Moustache, what are you here? This is our big boy Moustache, also known as Mr. Rooster Pants. We've recently had 2 broody hens. The first batch went to my nephew in Brisbane and he's very excited to have 5 new chickies. I got home from that adventure and was very excited to find out that our Australorp cross was also broody. So we let her sit on some fertilised eggs. Here's our broody hen Austrid. Hey, choop, choop, choop. Hey, choop, 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 choop. Choop, 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 choop. We're actually doing an experiment this time. We've got one Austrid egg under her that was freshly laid, and we've got another Austrid egg under her that was from the fridge. So we're doing an experiment to see if they'll both hatch. One night we had quite a storm here, and the lid of the mobile chook pen was blown open, and our broody ended up sitting in straw that was quite wet. So we needed to move her quickly. So this was our quick throw together solution. I had these fence panels and I had the table. So I used the table for stability and I tied the fence panels to the table. It wasn't a great solution, but it worked. And a combination of a blanket to protect the tarp, a tarp over the top to keep it dry, some shade cloth to keep the tarp cool. Lots of bits and pieces went into building this pen. This is where our broody stayed for probably a week. And then she had the pleasure of being the first hen in the new chook pen. That's it. Hello, girl. Where are your chickies? Can I see them? Yep, there's one. There they are. There were 6 eggs under her yesterday, and now there are 4 eggs and 2 chicks. Hey, Chook Chook. Good morning. Can I see if you got any chickies under there? Hey, cheeky cheek. Hey, cheeky cheek. Hey, Mama. Drink. Austrid was not very friendly and she did pick on us quite a lot. Did attack us quite a lot when we came to the pen. But then with her sitting for so long and looking so sad, we started giving her water, dripping it off the tip of our fingers. And she's actually learned that we're friendly through this action. And this is why I love deep litter for chickens. They're digging up worms and grubs all on their own and having a fantastic protein boost in their diet. And it's all natural. Hey, cheeky chick. Was that a big mouthful? Hey, chick, chick, chick. You okay? Hey, chick, chick. Chick, chick, chick. Like all chicken owners, we were keen to know whether we had cockerels or pullets. This is what we thought at the time. We had friends that advised us that we had 2 pullets and 2 cockerels. Hey, chick, chick. Hey, cheeky chick. We were still guessing at whether we had pullets or cockerels. Hey, cheeky chick. Hey, chicky. Hey, cheeky chick. Well, here are our chickies. Their mother started laying eggs when they were just 3 weeks old. And a few days later, she started attacking them, being aggressive towards them when they tried to come to her. So we decided it was time to take them away. While she was with them, their mother taught them to enjoy grass clippings. We have a neighbour who has a lot of different aged chicks at the moment, They've had several batches hatch and they're at different development stages. And one thing she's observed with her very many different breeds of chickens is that the girls tend to develop their tails sooner. So these two, she would say, are hens. See the silver one, how long its tail is? See this one, its tail is rather short. Hens tend to develop their tail earlier than the roosters do. In contrast, the roosters tend to develop their comb first, and so the roosters will often have a much larger comb and the start of wattles appearing before the hens do. Good morning, Moustache. Moustache has been moved away from his girls. He has a favourite and she's been getting too much attention. When he mounts her, his claws are scratching her and starting to injure her. So we're going to give them a break from him for a couple of months. Moustache was the father of these chicks. I love watching how he freezes. He just stands still to let them eat around him. Our chickies are getting bigger, so it's time to make some transitions. Hey, chickie chick. Until now, I've had their food sitting there. But I've noticed that's caused them to be doing some digging out along there, and I don't want that. The purpose of the bricks around the edge of the cage are to make it difficult for rodents to get in. And if they start digging there, they're going to cause it to subside and they're going to allow rodents to get in and snakes, and I don't want that to happen, so the food is no longer going there. Instead, they're going to have to learn to eat up here. So this is a feed container they have had with a rock in here to stop them scratching it all out. They do often fly up here, so they know how to get up here, and I'm sure they'll discover that their food is up here when they get hungry enough. If it takes them a while to discover their food is up there, that's not a problem because we put all our scraps in here and they'll dig around. I like deep litter because it means they can dig and discover all sorts of insects in the mulch and get their protein from that. They're about 8 weeks old. Hey, chook, chook, chook. There's one more from this clutch, and she was injured by the rooster, so she's in another cage by herself, allowing her to heal before I put her back in here. They're trying to get to the grass just outside the door there. These are the chicks that Austrid hatched. They're about 10 weeks old now. We're still feeding them chick starter because that's what we've got. And we don't want to have that go off before we have the next lot of chicks next year. We're pretty sure this one is a hen. And we're pretty sure this lavender one is also a hen. We believe she's a lavender Sussex offspring. Pretty sure this one is a rooster. He's looking very much like his dad did at the same age. Now this one we're not sure. She's got a different kind of comb, matching the mother that laid her egg. We're hoping it's a female, but we're actually not sure. There are a few things you can use to help you work out whether a chicken is a hen or a rooster. So the first and most obvious thing that we always notice when we have a batch of chicks is the comb size. Roosters will have a much larger comb right from the start. By 3 weeks, there'll be a difference in the size of combs, how high they stand and how wide they are. So that's a really quick thing to tell. Also at 3 weeks, the hens tend to have longer tails and the roosters kind of look like they don't have tails. As the chickens get older, there are some other feather features that are easier to notice. One is the saddle feathers. Now, if you notice here, it has the back, the feathers that come down here beside the tail. They're called saddle feathers. Females don't have that. The males have pointed feathers around their neck. They're heckles. You can see Moustache's lovely saddle feathers down about here. And he has gorgeous heckles around here. And they're all pointed. Lovely heckle feathers here. You see they're very pointed. And then down here, there's his saddle feathers. And a very wonky tail. So these are our 4 chicks at 20 weeks old. And guess what? They are all pullets. All 4 of them turned out to be females. None of them were cockerels. So the question of rooster or hen came up a lot while we were raising these little ones. Part of the confusion was the length of the wing when they were young. Part of what made us consider that they might be roosters was that these 2 here, this one here, and the one behind her, so these 2 right here, they looked exactly like their father when he was that age. And they looked exactly like another one of their siblings, half sibling, that turned into be a rooster too. In the end, the only thing that helped us decide that they were hens and not roosters was that we came into contact again with their half-brothers and we saw the size difference. So the age difference was 3.5 weeks and they were almost double the size of the hens. So for all the theories of how to tell whether they're hens or roosters, I've become convinced that the only way to really tell the difference between a pullet and a cockerel is to see them with others of their same age. As a cockerel gets older, it's really easy to identify the heckles and the saddle feathers of a rooster. But when they're younger, it's not so easy. We were sure that there would be a cockerel amongst the 4 chicks we had hatched. And so I guess we just kept looking for that cockerel and having all sorts of guesses. But no, we have 4 hens and we are grateful for it.